You may now begin your presentation.
We are social entrepreneurs. We know no barriers, no boundaries. We come from all corners of the world to deliver the triple bottom line.
We are trained in the United States, where the spirit of entrepreneurship is fostered and nurtured.
With 7 of our members, including myself, are being awarded the PMT Pro Project Management Certificates this year. We applied our skills to innovate,
by conducting needs assessment,
taking action.
And enabling social, economic, and environmental progress.
We will be telling you the stories of 3 of our enterprises that meet 5 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
With one text away, we are tackling the #1 issue we face in Seattle, homelessness.
With Fertilizer, we are tackling the largest contributor to landfill congestion, food waste.
With Green Energy Center, we are tackling the biggest threat to humankind, climate change.
At Enactus City University of Seattle, we believe our diversity is our strength, and our different culture has enriched our commitment in valuing ethical practices, social contribution, and environmental impact. Let's start with one text away.
For 6 years, our team taken on #1 problem in Seattle by developing projects that empower people experiencing homelessness through access to jobs.
we work with a charity which hires people experiencing homelessness to fill contract jobs. Through interviews, we discovered a challenge in their dispatching process. Our solution was texting, but half of their workers did not have phones.
2 years ago, we launched One Call Away, which registers people in need with the federal Lifeline phone services, dispatching jobs to more than 1,100 people to earn a total of $3.2 million in wages.
Now, One Call Away is running sustainably with a phone service partner. Every Wednesday, people in need can sign up for free phones, which connect them to their jobs.
So what else could the phones be used for? Asked one of the judges at the competition last year. Our team conducted 48 interviews with our target audience, including people experiencing homelessness and social service agencies. We identified the need for job seekers in finding services and agencies to increase their outreach.
Imagine you experiencing homelessness and need help. You can text even if you don't have a smartphone or internet access.
Now you can try this with us by texting the word HELP to 833-933-8398 and pick one of the keywords such as jobs, shelter, or food. Then text it. You will get an instant response of where you can get a job opportunity, free clothing, food, or shelter.
We saw an opportunity to take our phone project to the next level and expanded One Call Away with one text away.
We created One Text Away, working with the ZipWhoops platform. Currently, we manage the portal where premium clients will pay $65 to subscribe our service.
Reaching our target audience is a big challenge. We developed an incentive way with wristband 833-933, text, and got news coverage. And here are our results.
One Text Away provides platform for the award-winning Tom Douglas restaurants about its dishwasher openings. 2 dishwashers have already been hired.
After the regional competition, Walmart was impressed by One Text Away. Last week, Walmart signed up as our premium client to recruit for jobs.
One Text Away reaches people in goodwill industries about their jobs and job trainings. We launched this April with the initial test of 97 businesses and agencies. 900 messages were sent and $5,000 in communication cost was saved. We help people experiencing homelessness get jobs and job training.
Based on our first month of beta usage, we forecast that One Text Away will generate $4,400 in profit by this time next year, with many more additional jobs.
We are proud that our dedication to the Seattle community has empowered people to have access to jobs And now we have a groundbreaking model that can be scalable nationwide. Let's move on with Fertilize.
Last year, we launched our brand Fertilizer with the tagline Feeding Heart and Soil. According to the USDA, 133 billion pounds of food is wasted every year. Food waste is the major contributor to landfill congestion and also adds to environmental damage.
We create the best proven organic fertilizer through worm composting, which reduces the amount of food waste. We improve our carbon footprint while developing a business with the product in demand.
Red wigglers make the richest compost. The worms eat the food waste and transform it into castings full of nutrients. Red wiggler worms, liquid and solid fertilizers are our 3 product lines.
We partnered with the Rainier School that teaches skills to developmentally disabled adults and started a worm composting business. Fertilize generated $850 for the Rainier School.
This year, we expanded our business by collaborating with Operation Sack Lunch that serves 500,000 meals to people in poverty.
We are adopting a zero-waste approach since Operation Sack Lunch cooks meals from unused food from company cafeterias such as Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and Amazon. Then, every week, we cycled a ton of food waste from Operation Sack Lunch to feed into our Fertilize business.
Fertilize products have been sold online and at events. In June, we will be at the Best 2 Farmers Market in the US and will be distributed at Archer's Supply Hardware.
Our team will be training impoverished people to staff market and empower them to run the business.
We plan to reduce 30 tons of food waste and generated $5,600 for Operation Sack Lunch this summer. We expect the number to grow to 11,500 next year.
Together, we are social entrepreneurs solving the food waste issue while creating a sustainable business. Let's talk about Green Energy Center.
Our international team also gives us the perspective to solve the issues around the world. About 3 years ago, one of our team members from Gabon, Africa, alerted our team about a problem in his country. We found it affects us all.
Climate change is not only a threat to the planet, but to our livelihoods. Citibank's report forecasts that the world will lose $44 trillion in GDP by 2060 due to declined resources and increased natural disasters.
We discovered that black carbon is responsible for up to half of the cause of climate change, and by reducing black carbon has an immediate impact in lowering the rise of global temperatures.
25% of black carbon is caused by cooking with open fires.
Yes, the World Health Organization estimates that around 3 billion people worldwide still cook using open fire. Every year, 4 million people die from illnesses caused by the smoke and carbon monoxide, and many more suffer from burns and eye and lung diseases.
We have a mission to save our lives and our planet by developing a clean cook stove business.
We collaborated with stove designer Art Donnelly and Chico Power, a University of Washington startup. We ended up to create a stove with 2 other important benefits: power and biochar.
Biochar is a carbon-rich charcoal that is used as a soil additive. Biochar stores and removes carbon dioxide while improving soil fertility and crop yields. This makes our stove not only carbon neutral, but carbon negative.
More than 1.2 billion people don't have easy access to power. Our stove converts heat for enough power to charge phone or LED light.
Our Green Energy Center stove is the only stove of its kind. Carbon monoxide free, clean, uses readily available waste, uses 40% less fuel, sturdy, produces biochar and power, and also it is safe to touch. A better life for all.
We first tested our stove 2 years ago in a small village, Mula, Gabon, with our member's mother-in-law, Florence.
In this village, 80% of the limited power comes from diesel generators, and all cook 3 stone fires. We trained Florence to use and maintain our stove, then monitored the results.
Florence said she can now read clearly and that she makes a minimum of $30 a month from charging her neighbors' phones with the power her stove generates. I calculated that her two stoves eliminate 10 tons of CO2 emission every year.
Our next step was to make our project scalable by manufacturing it at an affordable price. We worked with the designer so that our stove can last at least 3 years and to make it reproducible. We launched a crowdfunding campaign, made 10 presentations, and received grants in totaling $7,000.
But we needed more than money. We needed help with producing the stove. We collaborated with the Vamish Industrial Innovation Center, hosted by Lafarge Holcomb, the world's largest cement manufacturer.
With their manufacturing expertise, we received bids to produce the stove. But the cost was still too high for us to offer to the African villagers at an affordable price.
While we struggled trying to lower the cost, we brainstormed on the other models of the stove. With the hurricane disasters last fall in the news, we thought of another way to scale our project: disaster relief.
Category 5 hurricane that slammed Caribbean has left US citizens in Puerto Rico desperate for help. For some, cooking meals is still a challenge. Hurricane Maria left the island residents in the dark.
Tackling big issues like disaster relief and climate change takes collaboration. We wanted to listen to the local needs, and the Enactus team at University of Puerto Rico, Humacao, jumped in. Even as they struggle with their own campus devastation, they believed the stove would be a perfect addition to their community center project.
Puerto Rico experienced the second worst blackout in the world. Just this month, there were more power outages, and they still have to deal with not having consistent power and cooking with heat.
Using a grant from CBS Ecomedia, myself and 2 other team members went to Puerto Rico. After our training, community members can now use hurricane debris as a fuel for our stove, to charge their phone or LED light, to cook and produce biochar for their new community garden. They will save 585 tons of CO2 by eliminating open burnings of hurricane debris.
80% of the food supply in Puerto Rico is imported. Gardens can make their food supply more sustainable and more affordable. Biochar is particularly productive for enhancing tropical soil.
The Puerto Rico Community Center leader testified that our stove is not only an ideal tool for post-disaster relief, but also can be used for years to come to help to those in need to reduce expenses.
Let's keep talking, we have more to share with you.
We are still dedicated to put a big dent in the global carbon emission and directly impact the health of millions with clean cooking. At the annual International Cook Stove Conference, we learned about a clean cook stove store in Guatemala and realized we can reach our mission by pivoting our model.
Enactus advisor and myself traveled to Guatemala to learn about their pilot business.
Based on our research, we created a franchise business model that empowers local women to sell and repair all types of clean cook stoves and sell renewable fuel.
The Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stove Regional Director told us that 10 million households still cook using open fire in Central America, including half of the Guatemala families.
Global entities have committed to build healthier communities and reduce deforestation. The NAMA facility has committed to reach $15 million and a goal of selling 250,000 stoves.
We met the policymaker and banking executives in the home of a retired ambassador to obtain a NAMA facility grant fund.
Based on the positive response for our stove, we developed a new model to focus on production of renewable fuel from waste and produce our stove in Guatemala.
This fall, we will be launching our franchise store focusing on using waste-pelleted fuel to earn ongoing revenue.
We are proud to say that our businesses meet 5 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Good health and well-being.
Affordable and clean energy.
Decent work and economic growth.
responsible consumption.
Climate action.
We bring perspectives on local and global challenges. We tackle the largest problem faced by humankind, develop sustainable solutions, and implement sound business strategies. By doing this, we are taking an action on the triple bottom line.
Through jobs, we are making with Seattle's homelessness issue, resulting in 1,100 jobs in the past 2 years, and even more with our revolutionary one text away service.
We are reducing food waste with the business, turning 30 tons of food waste into organic fertilizers. We saved our partners $800, earned them $850 in revenue, with an expected $11,500 in revenue next year.
We are tackling the largest social and environmental issue, already eliminating 585 tons of carbon dioxide, generating thousands of watts of renewable power, and enabling a healthier lifestyle for Gabon villagers and Puerto Rico disaster victims.
We created, tested, learned and pivoted Green Energy Center to transform it into a one-stop shop for smokeless stoves for even bigger results, with the vision to change the life of millions.
We are Enactus City University of Seattle.
And we are social entrepreneurs.
Thank you, City University of Seattle. Judges, you may now begin the question and answer period.
Nice job. I just have a question about the stoves. I may have missed it, but in the sustainability, you were going to maybe sell those stoves, or you were trying to get the price down, and I missed kind of what was the conclusion. What was the ultimate price of that unit?
Okay, thank you for the question. We were advised earlier that the price of the stove would be around $150 wholesale, but we were aiming it to be at a retail price of $200. Since we already have been to Gabon, Africa, and to Guatemala, people living there are willing to pay $200 for the stove and even more than that. So we got the bid request from people for around 100 stoves, and the price was $600 each, which was really high. So therefore, we have planned to have a social franchise in Guatemala. And also, we found some potential partners who can manufacture the stove in Guatemala at a really low price. Thank you.
Nice job. Question on Fertilizer. With regards to, you stated you collected 30 tons of food waste. And I was looking at the financials. Are those costs built into the collection and processing of that? I was just wondering how you collected all that and processed all that food waste.
Thank you for your questions. So for the fertilized products, last year we made $850, and out of $850, we collected $700 from selling worm casting with 58 packages of 2 pounds of casting. So we calculated that 20 pounds of food waste can produce 10 packages. So with the 58 packages, we already used 16 pounds of food waste. So this year we worked with Operation Sack Lunch, and we used 1 ton of food waste from them. It means that we can produce 200 packages of worm casting with 2 pounds worm casting per each. It means that we can earn an income $2,400 per week, and it brings us an income $11,500 next year. Thank you.
In your report under Fertilize, it says that you serve 500,000 meals every year to people in poverty. Could you expand on that, please?
Yes, so thank you for your question. We've partnered with Operation Sack Lunch. So Operation Sack Lunch is a nonprofit organization in Seattle that collects food from companies such as Microsoft, Boeing, and they use the unused meals and provide those to the homelessness. That's where the 500,000 comes in.
Yes, thank you. On your one call away, is there a revenue model or a way to compound that for homeless people in all cities?
Thank you for your question. One call away, we started 2 years ago. So we work with Millionaire Clubs charity, where the funds we distributed through Federal Lifeline Plan were able to generate 1,100 jobs. And with that, we generate 3.2 million jobs. So what we did is finding out which Federal Lifeline grants that we can secure funds, and with that funds, the homeless people can make phone calls to loved ones or can make phone calls with potential employers. So when they get jobs, the wages, Millionaire Club charities getting some percentage of the wages, and that becomes their income. So that's the business model. But from that, then we pivoted one call away and we add one text away, because the phone can only receive text. It's not smartphones. Thank you.
The question and answer time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the Enactus team from City University of Seattle.